Hello there and welcome back to my YouTube channel. James here as ever for today's video all about how to pass your upcoming business technology, that's the F1 ACCA exam. If this is the first time you visited my channel before, my name is James, I'm an ACCA qualified member from the UK, and on my channel I help out ACCA and accounting students around the world pass their upcoming exams. And I always make sure all my videos are dedicated to my lovely subscribers, and today is no different. So, as you can see down here, Sinta Soj, lovely name on that, very old school, or just SS maybe, I don't know. But sir, I don't like studying F1, good start SS, because it's wholly theory. I don't know how to prepare. Can you make a video on how to study this paper? Well, SS, I'm more than happy to help because in this video, I'm going to take you through all of the free resources available to you on ACCA's website that if I had to study the actual business technology exam, this is what I'd be using. Also, I'm going to give a shout out as well to RK. Thank you so much for your video, for your actual comment on there. Please make a video for F1. So RK and SS, this video is dedicated to you. If you've got any questions like RK and SS, make sure you leave me a comment below. I answer them all. I'm more than happy to help to produce more videos. So if you'd like access to all of them, feel free to subscribe. Just hit the button below. You don't want to miss out on any of the future uploads. And make sure as well you give the video a massive thumbs up so that more accounting students can see the free content, of course. But why wouldn't they? Also, if you actually have any colleagues that are just starting their ACCA journey, they've got their F1 paper, that first one, you need all the support so that you can see where all the free resources are. So make sure you share this with them as well. It's definitely going to help them out. These are the things that I'd be using if I was in your position. So make sure you've got a pen and paper at the ready. You're going to have to take lots of notes down and then make sure you're going to take some action after the video to go and check the resources out and to implement them in your studies. So I'm going to hop on to the main screen now, get comfy, get a cup of tea, nice drink, whatever works best for you, and this could be the difference in getting you that 50 plus to pass your exam. So on 3 and 2 and 1 and go. Okay then, so if you've clicked the link in the description, as I previously mentioned, it's going to take you directly onto ACCA's website on the business and technology set. I'm trying to think, accountant in business, that was what it was called. Okay then, so if you click the link in the description to the video, it's going to take you directly onto ACCA's website, as you can see on the screen. I'm here on the left and will be for the video. All the important information will be in the centre. I'll make sure I highlight it all for you so that you can take down some really helpful notes that are going to help you pass your business and technology exam. Now, just for reference for the video, you may also see accountant in business and also F1. These refer to basically the exact same paper, it's just been updated recently by ACCA. So just to be aware in case you've actually got any old potential materials or if you see it anywhere else in your studies. Now, the first thing that we have to mention as to maybe you're completely new and this is your first ever ACCA video or anything that you're looking into it, well, you've got to understand what the pass rates are for the actual exam that you're going to sit. So as you can see on here, give or take, it's around about 85% for the pass rate. So what that means is in June 2021, 88% of students who sat the exam passed the exam. So for every 100 students that sat the exam, 88 passed and 12 failed. So within this video, I'm going to be showing you all the free resources that I'd be definitely using to make sure I'm part of that 88% and to progress onto my next exam, which I would recommend to be the actual management accounting exam. Now, as I just come back up to the top on here, we'll go through all of the exam resources. In fact, yeah, we'll start on these first of all, and then we'll go on to a couple of other areas that I think are going to be really key to help you out. So make sure you stay to the end of the video because these are all the things that I'd be utilising if I was in your position. So first of all, you've actually got the Introduction to Business Technology, a nice little video there from ACCA, and as you can see, you've got the Introduction to Accounting and Business. It's the exact same examination, but the key thing down here that you need to download, and I would probably recommend printing this out to put in your notes, is the actual Business Technology Essentials on one page. And like any professional recorder, look what I prepared earlier. We are all good to go. So these will be the PDFs that I'd be definitely looking at and analysing in my revision plan and printing out to help me out. So let me just walk and talk you through some of the areas on here that I'd be particularly paying attention to. And starting on the left-hand side, we've got an overview as to, well, what am I going to be expected to know come the time when I actually sit my business technology exam, and it nicely links it for you there as to say, well, what areas of business organisation, the actual structure of the business, technology, compliance, controls, security, how does it all link in with other areas of the actual module? And then also referring to leadership, managing individuals, teams on there, values and professional ethics, which come up in this exam and basically every exam in ACCA. And then finally, personal effectiveness, communication, and that managerial approach. There are lots of different steps to success on here. I've actually attempted one of the business technology online computer-based examinations. We'll come on to it later, but make sure you get that written down as to say, after this video, as a piece of action, 1, to download this PDF, and 2, to watch that video. I would highly, highly recommend it, because that relates into the practice exams and the specimen papers that you can access for free. I'm going to show you where they are later on as well. And it's got the breakdown of Section A and Section B on here as to objective test questions worth either 1 or 2 marks each, and then Section B with 6 multitask questions, or MTQs, that you will see in your actual study text. There are tips on here for actually answering the questions, and trust me, these are so true for the OT questions, about reading the question carefully, as the wording of some of the questions in this exam. You can read it one way and interpret the answer, and then you can read it and think to yourself back, hence why they've put on here, think before answering, and you can get a completely different answer. So try to eliminate the ones that you go, it can't possibly be that, and then if in doubt, just answer it and have an educated guess, I would say, because better that than not answering at all. Same really for the actual multitask questions in Section B at the bottom for the 24 marks. Reading it and understanding it effectively is so key. Try not to rush, but be careful with your time management as well, and make sure you answer all the questions as well. Now, coming down to the key resources, an area that some students overlook, and as you can see here when I go over the actual headings on there, that will take you directly to the technical articles, the specimen exams. All the direct links are on there, so definitely something that you need to be aware of, and resources will be touching on later. Finally, I've got to highlight on here, study the whole syllabus. Now, yes, it's got a high pass rate, but they can test you on a variety of different areas on this examination, everything from broad topics to very specific. So the more of the syllabus you cover, the better off you are going to be on this. Now, I always get asked on recommendations for how long it will take to actually prepare for this exam. Now, if you're completely new to accountancy, you've never really done much of it before, you may be in your first role as well, it all depends on your actual available time, but I would always give as a sort of rule of thumb that for an average student who is working and then studying full-time for the sort of F1 to F3 papers, 2 to 3 months of studying to really understand the core concepts. The reason why I say 2 to 3 months is because so many of the aspects on this exam come up on other exams. So you'll hear about people online that will pass after 4 weeks of tuition and looking at the stuff, or 6 weeks or something like that, and they'll pass with 55, they'll get a minimal pass, you need 50 to pass on the exam. But then what tends to happen is they will fail later exams because they didn't understand the core concepts. So take your time, go through it at your pace, and you can sit these exams on demand now. So yes, when you are ready, make sure you do as many practice questions as possible that I'm going to show you later. But a very helpful resource I would definitely be using and utilising if I was in your position. So that's the first aspect on there. Next we have the examining team guidance. And as ever, first of all, go on to that video on there, really helpful from ACCA. And then you've got other aspects on here, the structure of the paper. Again, another link on there. Feel free to have a look at it in your own time. And another one I'd really recommend. And then you've also got on here the examiner's reports, where you should be downloading the most up-to-date ones and referring backwards. So as ever on here, these are the actual examiner's reports. And what we have on here, everything from general comments, how the actual examination went, when they actually went through it. And then the marking team actually give you pointers as to say, well, what were the actual key areas that were identified within the actual exam? some examples of some questions as they go through, so you can have an attempt with the right answers. But then what I really like on here is it also explains for you why it is the right answer. And also down here, it also explains why students actually went wrong on this exam, which again is really helpful. Use it as a bit of practice and then have a go at some of the questions. I mean, you've got plenty of examples, or at least 6 or 7 on here. And then you've got other really helpful definitions and other areas on here that come up on the actual syllabus with some final conclusions based on what the actual external marker thought. So really helpful, underused resource in my opinion. I'm not going to go through it all in detail now. I just want to highlight it for you that this would definitely be on my to-read list, because there'll be nuggets of information in here that again could help you pick up on those marks that can make the difference and get you into that 50 plus to pass your first ACCA examination. So that's the examining team guidance. Now we come on to another unused resource. Again, it staggers me how many students don't even look at this, but you can rely upon your study text, of course, but I'd also have this as well. And then go down to the most up-to-date syllabus and study guide. So just click on the one at the time you're watching this video, and it's going to pull you onto a document like this, where I'm just going to walk and talk you through all the key aspects. Now, it's really easily broken down. You've got everything from intellectual levels, quality, qualification structure. Now, because this is going to be one of your first ACCA exams, I would highly recommend you read through this in great detail, just so you actually understand the sort of processes. And then this is where you can link into the sort of diplomas in accounting and business that you will be able to apply for once you pass this exam. You then got also guides to the actual examination structure, and then this is where will this content link into other areas of the qualification. So yes, mainly it goes into SBL, or Strategic Business Leader, at the strategic level, but there are also key terms in here that can be applied in a variety of other examinations, but generally overall it can be applied to SBL. You've got aims of the syllabus, and the reason why I advocate for you to go through this in detail is because it's one of your first exams. You need to understand the levels they're expecting of you now going through a professional qualification. Got that right, well done, James. And then linking on to, these are the main capabilities, A to F, that you need to say, yes, James, I'm confident looking at these and explaining these key areas before my examination. These are the capabilities that link in. So A there, the business organisation, its stakeholders, and the external environment relates to the first one up there. So you can see how it links into the other areas. Now, point to write down in your notes on here. If you have access to a printer, I would definitely recommend that you print off the actual syllabus overview on here, where it nicely breaks it down into the key areas. So that part there for the business organisation, its stakeholders and the external environment that we just looked up at above, that then is broken down into those 9 key areas that you need to have a good knowledge of before your exam. So really, really helpful. And then they will also have down here a detailed study guide. So from the same area, from the purpose and types of business organisation. So from that point there, the purpose and types of business organisation. If you go back down, they've now given you a breakdown of all of the key areas that you need to be aware of. So this will be a really helpful checklist for you to go through before your examination. I'd be going through this after I've read through the study text and I've understood those core areas, and then I now know how to apply it to the syllabus and what they are expecting of me. If you come all the way to the bottom, you've got everything. Definitely make sure you're familiar with the professional ethics at the end there. And then if there are any changes to your syllabus, they will be putting it at the bottom for you in a little summary. But as you can see on here, in the actual up to 2022 paper, there are no additions or amendments or anything deleted, so nothing to be worried about. So nicely broken down for you. And as you can see from me walking and talking you through, you go, yes, that's quite a helpful document, James. That is going to really save me some time. So make sure you allocate some time in your study plan to actually have a look through and to go through that in a lot more detail. Now, we've got some actual practice tests on here that are available on ACCA's website. And trust me when I say this, the more practice questions you do for this exam, the better off you're going to be at picking up on what the examiner is looking for and answering them correctly and not making silly mistakes. So as you can see on here, you can actually buy breakdowns of questions in a lot more detail. I'd recommend getting a set of 3 questions on there, purchasing them through on the link at the bottom, and then make sure you do these after you've already attempted the specimen paper, you've been through the study text, and then you've also done some other questions on top of it, because these actual tests on here, okay, it tells you at the end what areas of the syllabus you were weak on. So there's no point in doing the test when you're just on the study guide and you've not really read through many of the core topics, because you're not going to learn as much from that. So definitely after when you've completed the study tests on there. So that's for the actual practice exams. And then we've got on the next one down the actual specimen exams. So going down here, this is the one that I've actually recorded a video for. So if you actually click that link on there, it then takes you to the business technology full exam, extra questions, and then you've got the answers on there as well. So you just simply press it on here. It's like a lovely little overview. There's your breakdown of section A and section B. It then takes you through the process so that you can get familiar with it. Really, really important, especially if this is going to be your first exam, that you get really good at this, and hence you can start the exam to time. The key thing here to write down in your notes that is really important to you is have a go at it yourself and then re-watch my video back on it. It's free on the channel, and then see how you got on and how I actually explain it on there as well. So put that on your to-do list to take action away from this video. Next, as you can see down here, we have the technical articles, and I've been asked on this quite a lot. These are very important, especially if you're not really from an accounting background, because these are all key topics that come up in your examination and that you could be tested on as well. So it's a case of, I'd always be referring to these. Say if you got a question on communicating core values and mission within an actual past paper question, maybe you got it wrong. Well, okay, if you click on here, it's then going to bring you to an article that nicely breaks it down for you, and the sort of questions that you need to be asking yourself, again, and a better understanding with a link to an example such as Tesco. So really, really helpful. I would definitely recommend you checking these out and going through them in a lot more detail. We've got plenty of them on here, and especially some of the theories like Hertzberg's, very much tested on this exam, and they're sort of the questions where students either know it or they don't. So just to be aware of on there, I'd definitely be utilising them in my actual revision. So definitely after you've been through the core text, I'd be then referring to those. If you're completely new at the start and you've not even opened up your study text or started working on it, and this could be one of the first videos you watch, then going to actually the frequently asked questions on here will save you a lot of time. And generally these are the questions that ACCA get from students around the world, as to say, well, what about the scenarios and the multiple choice questions and what's been removed from the syllabus? All these different things nicely broken down for you. And again, that'd be a really good one to actually say, well, am I just starting on the study text? I'd definitely be referring to that. Again, it shouldn't take you too long. Just have a little read through, maybe 20 minutes if that. But again, it could just make you more settled going into the exam to be on top of everything. So that takes us through all the learning and revision and the getting started. The final aspects on here I really want to take you through, and this is really going to help you when you're developing your accounting knowledge. You want to make sure you're referring to credible resources. The first one is the ACCA X on here, which is a free resource. Let's load it up on here. Now, I know this one says on here costs $89 to actually enroll, but if you actually go down to, so we've got the actual ACCA X course. So these are all the actual terms on here for you to go through, what you'll actually learn on the course on here, but this is it. So if you click or try out our free courses on here, this takes you then to the ACCA free online courses, and if you go down, you've got financial accounting, which is the FA paper. You've got management accounting, the MA paper, I'd recommend for you to do after this. And there's your business technology course on there. So that's then going to take you back onto here. This one is for the $89, so you wouldn't actually go onto that one on there. But then you've got the free ones about bookkeeping, which again can actually help you out. So the bookkeeping one on here, if you were to click on it, it's self-paced, 6 weeks on here, and as you can see, nobody's No cost on this at all. And look how many, 79,000 people have already enrolled. So again, it's on there. It will definitely help you out. So feel free to check it out on there. The next one is the actual get ready for the business technology exam. And they've got some great resources on here, how to best prepare you so that you can be in the 88%. Just simply put in your details with your email. It will send you the 1 hour and 1 minute available on demand recording for it. And again, all from ACCA resources, as you can see on here, from the professional content leads. Barry Rolfe, she goes through it on here. So yes, if I'm new to accounting, I'm new to ACCA, I'm new to the actual examination, I'll be putting in my details and making sure I watch that webinar. That will definitely help. So that really takes you through, and then really just to finally sum up on here, the actual pass rates, just to refer back to it, that if you follow these resources through, you take some time going away from today and actually thoroughly read them through and understand them, you will be part of that 88% and then well on the way in your ACCA and accounting journey. So I hope that helped, and let's head back onto the main screen now. 3, 2, 1, go! Well, I hope those free resources, along with my insights of ACCA's Business Technology exam, is going to help you out ahead of your exam. Sim to Sodge and RKRK, I hope that was helpful for you too. And if you've enjoyed the video from start to where we're at now, which I'm sure you have, so make sure you give it a massive like and thumbs up below. I really appreciate it, because it means that more ACCA students can actually find the videos, which could be the difference in passing their next exam. If you'd like access to all of my free resources and to be notified when I put on more videos, make sure you subscribe and just hit the button below. All free, as I said on there. But if you've got any friends, any study buddies, any colleagues as well who are doing this exam, make sure you share the video with them, because you know these are the free resources, again, that could make the difference in passing this exam. If you've got any questions or sort of feedback, or let me know what you thought of the video, just leave me a comment below, just like the video has been, all subscriber related and also orientated, and I'm more than happy to help. I answer absolutely all of them. Well, if you're going to be doing the Business Technology, the BT exam or F1 paper, it's going to be the first one in your accounting journey. So I'm going to say best of luck. I hope the videos on the channel help you out, and it could be the difference in getting you that 50 plus, a big tick to start your ACCA journey, and then onwards and upwards from there. Well, on that bombshell, I'll see you next time. Cheers.